Let's start with a question. How many treaties did the United States make with Native American tribes? More than 300 promises made, and heartbreakingly, almost all of them broken. That's not an exaggeration. It's the tragic, complicated truth behind one of the biggest myths in American history. The myth that treaties between the U.S. government and Native nations were fair, honored, and permanent. Since the U.S. began, it signed 368 treaties with Native nations for peace and respect. Tribes lost their signatures and promises fast. The first myth shows fairness, but that handshake hid power, pressure, and fear. Most were written in English, a language the tribes didn't even speak, often under pressure. When a government official says, "Sign this paper or face the army," that's not a negotiation. That's coercion. Some leaders signed because they believed it was the only way to save their people. Others never agreed at all, and still saw their land taken. Myth number 2. The U.S. promised to protect native lands forever. But forever often lasted about 5 years. When settlers found gold, or when the railroad wanted to cut through tribal territory, those treaty lines vanished. Take the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1851. It guaranteed the Sioux Nation control of the Great Plains. Then gold was discovered in the Black Hills. The U.S. government tore up its own agreement, and war followed. Myth number 3. The tribes were compensated. In theory, treaties promised supplies, payments, and schools. In practice, those payments were late, missing, or stolen by corrupt agents. One tribal leader once said, "We do not want your promises. We want the truth." That truth rarely came. In 1871, Congress stopped making treaties and recognizing tribes as nations. No more negotiations. Instead, the government moved to a system of control. Reservations, forced assimilation, and boarding schools. The treaty era ended, but its broken promises never did. Those treaties, signed, sealed, and mostly ignored, are still legally binding today. Can you believe it? Tribes nationwide are still fighting for their promised fishing rights, land, and sovereignty. They're not asking for favors. They're asking for the United States to honor its word. History is about promises and what we still owe. So next time someone says, "A deal's a deal," remember, for hundreds of Native nations, the deal was broken before it even began. If you learned something new today, help us bust historical myths. Like and subscribe to The History Mythbuster for more.